What have we become? And targeting women. The misogyny here is on full display. It's bigger than just trying to make up something about, some red herring again about CCP Chinese agents.
That's not a bunch of bull. Legitimate concern.
It's a concern about this big. That's not what they're talking about.
Why can't we address
that such a concern, sweetheart? How come none of them said anything about CCP agents? They targeted women.
Tara Setmayer unloaded on Abby Phillips' show as she pushed back against MAGA's anti-immigrant, anti-minority, and xenophobic rhetoric. MAGA has been completely outraged over the Supreme Court's ruling on birthright citizenship, throwing around claims about so-called birth tourism. We're about to break down another intense and emotional panel where Tara Setmayer goes head-to-head with MAGA supporters on Abby Phillips' show. I also have a few thoughts to share along the way, so let's jump into it together.
Tonight, after the Supreme Court struck down Donald Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship, officials and allies of the president are considering a backup plan: ban foreign pregnant women from coming to the U.S.
If a person comes here 9 months pregnant to go look around at some things, in a couple of weeks, that is the mother of a lifetime American citizen and a direct line into American cash and welfare.
You're not going on vacation in emergency in late-term pregnancy. And so those are some issues that we can look at.
It's a violation of our laws. If your intent in coming here, if you're pregnant, is to have a child to become a United States citizen, what we have to do as the Department of Justice is make sure our agents, our HSI agents that we work with in the FBI are focused on stopping that.
It's time for Congress to pass a law to say you can't come here. You can't have a baby on U.S. soil and exploit this loophole.
In a related proposal, longtime Trump legal advisor Mike Davis is urging the administration to shift its focus on mass deportations.
They need to get moving and start deporting people as fast as possible, starting with birthing aged women. We're going to get these pregnant women and women who could be pregnant the hell out of our country.
We just watched a lineup of some of the most anti-American, vile, disgusting, and completely deplorable people you could imagine. Let's keep this going.
I also just find it interesting that Andy Ogles, who is a member of Congress, doesn't know that it is already not legal to come here with the express purpose of giving birth to a child so that they can gain citizenship. That's a violation of our existing immigration laws. But this idea that now women are the targets of immigration because they wanted to change birthright citizenship via executive order, that seems like, I don't know, bad politics, bad optics, maybe both.
I mean, we already know that foreign adversaries are exploiting this. There's been 1.5 Chinese CCP babies who've been born on U.S. 1.5 million people who've come via
how many
birth
of them
tourism to have children in the U.S. over the last few decades.
I've never seen the number be that high. I don't know if you're
New York Post has reported on it. So that's an issue that we know our foreign adversaries
are you talking about just Chinese nationals who have children here? You realize that not all of them are here to give birth via birth tourism?
Okay, we can argue about the numbers. That is a number that's been reported.
I'm arguing about the numbers.
Can I finish?
No,
I'd like to finish.
I'd
like to finish this.
I'm arguing about. Hold on, Lydia. I'm arguing about the numbers because the numbers matter.
Yes, of course.
This is a country of hundreds of millions of people. And if you were talking about a number of people that is in the tens of thousands, where there are already laws that address this issue, that should be part of the conversation because it's misleading.
There's still birth tourism schemes that are advertised all over the world.
I understand that.
You had Lydia Moynihan jumping in there, using that vocal fry to really drive her point home and add some extra emphasis.
Crackdown. I covered that. This has been going on for a long time. But what is the scale? What is the true scale, Lydia?
I'm telling you.
If we are being truthful, the true scale is not 1.9 million,
1.5 over the last few decades.
Million Chinese people coming only for the purpose of birth tourism.
We already know that this is something that our foreign adversaries are using to exploit us. We already know that 61% of people who come and have a child here are on social welfare services. We already know that people are using it for social welfare services. So why would we want more of that?
How many people
why would we want
are you
more
talking
of that?
about, Lydia?
I already mentioned the 1.5.
You're saying that all of the 1.5 million people of
those
Chinese
children can vote here. Do you really want people
are coming for the sole purpose of utilizing our social services?
Whose parents are CCP citizens who grow up in China to come here and vote.
There are plenty of people who have parents of foreign citizenship who are American citizens and do, in fact, have the right to vote. They might be from China. They might be from Russia. They might be from England. They might be from anywhere in the world.
I don't think that we should.
That is not illegal.
I think it makes sense to
have
crack down on
parents from another country.
I don't understand why it would be controversial to crack down on birthright tourism.
It's not. It's actually. That's my point. It's not controversial.
Great. So then, what are we arguing about? Can we agree that's something we should crack down on then?
But so we do have laws on the books, or I should say, there are rules on the books, because a lot of this is interpretations around like Category B visa issuance. And if you are coming from a visa waiver country, the CBP official that you talk to, that you show your passport to, can reject you if, again, they suspect you're coming here for that express purpose.
Exactly.
Now, what is that threshold? Because the other point here is the optics around, whether you are arresting and intentionally targeting for deportation a bunch of pregnant women, those optics are not good. Mm-hmm. Or if you're a CBP officer at an airport and all of a sudden it's like, pregnant woman on my line, get out. Like, you are just creating a lot of challenges.
If you're Mike Davis, that was the last voice you heard in the intro. And he says, women of childbearing age. So if you're under 40 and you're on a visa waiver from the UK, they're basically going to say, oh, sorry, you're a woman under 40, can't enter the country.
But he's not an administration.
Okay, Mike Davis has a lot of influence inside the administration. He was also very instrumental in Project 2025. He was also very instrumental in the elections denying scheme during Trump won. So let's not minimize who Mike Davis is. That's right. He is a despicable human being, and these are the types of things that he's been advocating for a long time. Now, what we just saw should scare the hell out of every American. That's right. We're about to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our country. I actually did a very touristy thing today. For the first time in like 10 years, I took one of those sightseeing boats and I passed by Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. And it brought me to tears because I'm looking at how far our country has come under the leadership of people like this and the hypocrisy of people like Stephen Miller, whose own family were Jews who came to this country to escape what happened in Germany, and the despicable things that come out of his mouth and a lot of these other people. And I thought about my own family that came here through Ellis Island in 1924. Could you imagine? I mean, my Sicilian family, you know what they were called when they came here? All kinds of things. Irish families, all of those things. But they were still able to survive and persevere in this country. And that nativist kind of language that's coming back, that anyone that, if you're pregnant, what if you got a tan and you're pregnant and somebody suspects, oh, well, you must be from one of those shithole countries that Trump doesn't like. What have we become? And targeting women. The misogyny here is on full display. It's bigger than just trying to make up something about, some red herring again about CCP Chinese agents.
That's not a red herring. That's a legitimate concern.
It's a concern about this big. That's not what they're talking about.
Why can't we address that concern?
If that's such a concern, sweetheart, how come none of them said anything about CCP agents? They targeted women and minorities.
I've got to give Tara Setmayer credit here, because she completely put Lydia Monahan in her place. This is another example of MAGA making a huge deal out of something that really isn't a major issue. As Abby Phillip pointed out, we're talking about only tens of thousands of people. Depending on which estimates you look at, it's somewhere between 5,000 and 20,000 people, out of the roughly 3.5 million babies born in the United States every year, in a country with a population of around 335 million. Seriously, what have we become? Tara Setmayer said she grew up hearing every single day that America is a melting pot. But MAGA clearly doesn't believe in that anymore. The only immigrants they seem to welcome are white South Africans.
Being addressed by the federal government for a long time. The Biden Justice Department in 2022 sentenced Turkish nationals to 27 months in prison for orchestrating birth tourism. In 2024, a man and a woman also found guilty of criminal charges in connection to birth tourism. Again, back in 2015, there was a huge bust in California. This has been prosecuted. It's been an issue. It is not. And here's the reason it's really a red herring. The birthright citizenship thing is not actually about birth tourism. Mm-hmm. They wanted to change the rules so that they could decide whatever category it was. In this case, sometimes they would say it's illegal immigrants. Sometimes they would say it's temporary visitors. Whatever category they decided, those people would not be citizens anymore. That's really what the birthright citizenship ruling is about. It is not about birth tourism.
These people are sick. And that's what you saw on the video with these comments. The fact of the matter is it's easier to be angry than it is informed. And there are a lot of angry people because Republicans have made a living and a giving off immigration being a right meat, red meat issue for their base. And because they're losing every single argument you can make in a political year, they want to turn back to what they know and what they lean on. And that's red meat, right wing, divisive language. And that's what you see coming from their leaders. I'm thankful that the Supreme Court affirmed what we've always fundamentally believed, at least in my lifetime in this country, that if you're born in America, you are American. And that is a blow and a strike in the face to this right-wing MAGA movement who wants to try to rearrange the card decks about who we are as Americans, a story in a country of immigrants.
He's absolutely right. Just look at the confused expression on Peter Meyer's face over on the left side of your screen. MAGA simply doesn't believe in the values that so many of us were raised with. We were taught about generations of immigrants coming to America, people like the Irish and the Italians. And as Tara Setmayer pointed out, they came here hoping to build a new life, become part of the melting pot, and help make the country stronger. MAGA has completely turned its back on that idea. Then you have Stephen Miller, who we saw earlier in the video, someone Tara Setmayer described as vile and completely disgraceful, serving as one of the most influential figures in Trump's White House while driving many of these policies and legislative efforts. Their entire approach is built on division, constantly targeting people who aren't white, who aren't straight, or who aren't wealthy. Donald Trump